The distress beacon had been silent for 3 standard cycles. Commander Zektha of the Galactic Rescue Coalition stared at the tactical display, his 4 eyes blinking in sequence, a sign of deep contemplation among his species. The mining station on Kepler 442c had gone dark after a catastrophic seismic event, and all rescue attempts had been deemed too dangerous by the Coalition's risk assessment algorithms. The probability of survivor extraction is 0.003%, announced the AI in its emotionless tone. Atmospheric toxicity levels are at 400% lethal threshold. Seismic activity continues at magnitude 8.7. Rescue mission classification: impossible. Zektha's mandibles clicked in resignation. 23 miners from 7 different species, including 2 humans, were trapped beneath kilometers of collapsed rock and poisonous gas. The Coalition had protocols for such situations: preserve the living, mourn the dead, move on. It was logical. It was efficient. It was not human. The bridge doors hissed open and Captain Sarah Chen strode in, her magnetic boots clanking against the metal floor. Her dark eyes were fixed on the display, jaw set in a way that made Zektha's chitinous skin prickle with unease. "You're pulling back the rescue ships," she stated, not asked. "Captain Chen, the risk parameters—" "I didn't ask about risk parameters." Her voice was calm, but there was something underneath it that made the bridge crew shift uncomfortably. "I asked if you're abandoning those miners. The Coalition cannot justify risking additional lives for such minimal probability of success. This is standard protocol across all member species." Sarah's laugh was sharp and humorless. "Standard protocol, right." She turned to face the assembled alien officers. "How many of you have families?" The question caught them off guard. Several translated the concept through their universal communicators, confusion evident in their various facial expressions and body language. "I mean loved ones. People you care about. People who matter to you." A chorus of affirmative responses filled the bridge. "Good. Now imagine one of them was down there, trapped, maybe injured, maybe scared, waiting for someone to come get them." "Waiting for you to come get them." Zektha's translator struggled with the emotional undertones. "Captain, emotional decision-making is counterproductive to..." "To what? To being decent?" Sarah stepped closer to the display, her finger tracing the outline of the collapsed mining facility. "You want to know the difference between humans and the rest of the galaxy? It's this: we don't do math on people's lives." She activated her personal communicator. "Chen to Earth vessel Tenacity. Tenacity here, Captain. We've been monitoring Coalition frequencies. Are they really calling off the rescue?" "That's affirmative, Lieutenant Morrison. Prep the ship for atmospheric entry. We're going down." The bridge erupted in a cacophony of alien voices, translators working overtime to convey various species expressions of disbelief and concern. "Captain Chen," Zektha's voice rose above the others, "your ship is not equipped for this type of operation. The atmospheric processors alone will fail within hours. The seismic activity will tear your vessel apart." Sarah was already walking toward the exit. "Then we better work fast. This is madness. You'll kill yourself and your crew for nothing." She paused at the threshold, turning back with something that might have been a smile if it weren't so fierce. "Commander, let me tell you something about humans. We have a saying, no one left behind. It's not a suggestion. It's not a guideline. It's who we are." The Tenacity was a modified exploration vessel, built for durability rather than speed or comfort. As it descended through Kepler 442c's churning atmosphere, the hull groaned under the pressure of toxic winds and gravitational stress. In the cargo bay, Lieutenant Morrison and his team checked their equipment one final time. "Atmospheric suits rated for 6 hours max," Morrison reported through the comm. "Drilling equipment, medical supplies, and enough emergency rations for 30 people." "Copy that. Remember, we get everyone or no one. I don't care if we have to carry them out one by one." The ship shuddered as another seismic wave rolled through the planet's crust. Warning lights bathed everything in amber, and the air recyclers worked overtime to maintain breathable atmosphere. Above them, the Coalition fleet watched in what could only be described as morbid fascination. Species from across the galaxy had gathered to witness what they assumed would be a spectacular failure of human judgment. They were wrong. The Tenacity touched down less than a kilometer from the mining site, her landing thrusters fighting against gravitational anomalies and surface instability. Within minutes, The rescue team was moving across the hellish landscape, their equipment cutting through collapsed tunnels like surgical instruments. Contact! Morrison's voice crackled through the comm 6 hours later. We've got survivors. 17 of them, including both humans. They're in bad shape, but they're alive. The rescue took 14 hours. 14 hours of continuous seismic activity. Atmospheric toxicity that would have killed any unprotected being in minutes, and gravitational fields that made every step a battle against physics itself. The coalition watched as the Tenacity emerged from the planet's atmosphere, her hull scarred and smoking, carrying 23 miners who had been written off as dead. In the medical bay of the coalition flagship, Dr. Yathara examined the rescued miners with something approaching awe. Most were suffering from severe atmospheric poisoning, radiation exposure, and various injuries from the collapse. But they were alive. How? She asked Sarah, who was receiving treatment for her own injuries. How did you know you could succeed where our calculations showed failure? Sarah winced as the medical nanites repaired damaged tissue in her arm. We didn't know. That's not the point. Then why risk it? Because that's what humans do. We don't leave people behind, not ever. Not because it's logical or efficient or safe. We do it because it's right. She gestured toward the recovering miners, Zephyrians with their crystalline skin, Altarians with their multiple limbs, Centauri natives with their bioluminescent patches, and yes, 2 humans who had never expected to see home again. Every species in this galaxy seems to have learned to accept loss as inevitable. You've all gotten very good at cutting your losses and moving on. But humans, she shook her head, we're too stubborn to accept inevitable. We don't do the math on people's lives because some equations don't have numerical solutions. News of the rescue spread across the galaxy within days. The impossible mission that succeeded through sheer human determination became legend. Military academies studied it. Philosophers debated it. And slowly, quietly, other species began to reconsider their own protocols. But for Sarah Chen and the crew of the Tenacity, it wasn't about making a statement or teaching the galaxy a lesson. It was simpler than that. It was about making sure that when someone needed help, someone would come, because humans don't leave anyone behind.